Welcome to the Will Is podcast. Yeah. How y'all doing on this wonderful Friday night? But check it out. We got to set the record straight on some things, man. That's why we're going to jump into this one real fast. Because, it ain't going to take me long to prove what I know about who I am. So I just got to do some things real quick. It's a lot of talks, a lot of people that got a lot of things to say, but I just have some things to show you. Dig this. All right, so check me out. We coming. Just gotta allow some screen sharing, stuff. Figure this out. I haven't done this yet, so we're gonna do it. Here we go. Allow share screen. Let me see if it said I couldn't. It didn't allow me the first time, so let's see if it's gonna allow me to do something. But I gotta pick my screen that I want. So let me stop this one right here. No, not this screen. Let me see if I can tab. No, I don't want to share the screen. All right, sharing screen is not allowed. Learn more about it in the help. So let me try this. Let me try this then. Let me see something in here. So I can share. Since it won't allow me to do that, let me see if I got a setting in here that's gonna allow me to do it. Then shortcuts. Uh, let's see if we can get to add screen share H. All right. So let's see what that did. Let me see here. Press H. Okay. All right. So I got to do that then when I. Okay. So let me press exit and let me go to see if I can go over here to this right here and show you if I can still press H. You under dig? Let's see what happened right here. See what happened right here. Nothing. All right, so I got to work on that, but it's all good. But I got something to show you anyway. I knew I was going to have a backup plan for this, so no worries at all. We ain't tripping. What I'm about to show you tonight is my great grandfather, my father's side, E.B. Wilson. You under dig? Let me show you the kind of clout, you know, my great granddaddy had. This is my grandmother's father. Actually, this is our grandfather. I just want to show you some things about, when you're recognizing who you are from Congress of being, my family's very rich and deep. You know the dig? It's right there. This is me, my family. These are the Wilsons, the Wilson side. You understand? This is very important to know who you are and know your history. You understand? This is a whole book right here. You understand? This is a whole book of straight up, some of the greatest, you know, American Indians, Black Americans, some of the greatest. I'm very proud of my family. You understand? Uh, this was in the Wilson family reunion in 2009. You understand? The ancestral work and all of that was done by my elders, you know, by my elders. Let me read you a story about one of my elders, Mama Catherine. This is from her daughter, Sarah Louise Laster. My mother was a wonderful person. She was a strong woman. She exemplified what it meant to be a wife, a mother, a daughter, a friend. Mother, assisted Papa in raising her younger siblings due to the untimely death of her mother. She was a super mother. She taught us everything we needed to know to be productive, responsible adults and parents to our own children. I learned from Mother to be a loving, strong, and dedicated person. I was prepared to be a mother, sister, daughter, and friend. She prepared me to be able to take on tasks of raising my sister Doris' children due to her untimely death as well. My fondest memories of my mother were her dancing, and she loved to dance. Mother loved to sew, she loved to cook, she loved to arrange flowers for others at their different ceremonies and functions. It seems as if she loved everything she did. She was the kindest person you could ever meet. Mother worked diligently in their restaurant to provide the best food and service in town. Because of her heart and her joyous personality and the delicious food she prepared, everyone in town loved to meet and eat at the restaurant. If you could ask anyone, they would tell you how much they cherished the pleasure of Mother's company, for she was the sweetest woman anyone would want to meet. Sarah Louise Laster, always loving my mother. That's indeed. That's what she wrote about her mother. Everybody ain't got that tale to tell about their mother. And I'm going to show you a picture of that beautiful queen, Mama Catherine. Yes, indeed. Wonderful, beautiful woman. Magnificent woman. Let me tell you about First Sergeant Wilson, Sing Memorial Album. First Sergeant Joseph E. Wilson, USA, retired December 1925 to 2003. Father, historian, and author Joseph Wilson Jr. served with the 686th Field Artillery Battalion in the Rhineland and Central European campaigns. During the closing days of World War II, he transferred to the 721st Tank Battalion for occupation duty. From M. Smith, thank you. From Reno Augusto, Sunday 11th, June 2006. I am trying to obtain a 761 Tank Battalion unit patch. If you have one, which would you like to sell? Please email me. You know, these are the things that people say, very proud to walk in the shadows of the 761st, the Black Panthers from Louis Fuller. Where did America find all the fine young men who gave us our freedom? And they gave us all they had and more. Thanks. SSG, Staff Sergeant M. Kemp. I don't think the contributions and sacrifices of the 761st Tank Battalion, the Tuskegee Airmen, and the Buffalo Soldiers, to name a few, can ever be summed up in words. Thank you, warriors, trailblazers. You are not forgotten. Yeah. Warrior. First Sergeant Wilson, my ancestor. And see, these are all scrolls and stories of, look at Joseph Wilson. Check him out. Tank Battalion. Rest in power, ancestor. Yes, sir. You know. Then you got old granddaddy. Old granddaddy was all these successful people. These were his wives and all his children. He had 22 children, people. 22 children. He was getting down. Yeah, he was getting down. He had 22 children, man. Just like his, you know, American Indians have a lot of kids. They do a lot, you know. So yeah, this is my This they check it out. Check it out. They got it right here. The Black Panthers. Check it out. The 761st Black Panther Tank Battalion in World War II. Joe Wilson Jr. Check it out, man. I was a Marine, but much respect to the Army. My ancestor right there. Big stuff. Big man. Big stuff. You know what I'm saying? So long line of you know, long line of them. Registrations of death, biographies, and then you got that's Mama Catherine. Okay, here you go. Mama Catherine Last, Mama Catherine, as she was affectionately called, was born my month. She was a Leo just like me, but she was born August 4th, 1905 in Orville, Alabama, a small town outside of Selma, Alabama. She was the first child born to E.V. Wilson and Pearl Rayford. She was a PK, yeah, that's right, a preacher kid, and traveled her family to Mississippi, Alabama, and Florida as her father spread the gospel. At the tender age of 12, her family relocated to Pensacola, Florida. After her father started pastoring at the church in a church in Hogsaw. November 22nd, 1922, she married my granddaddy, the great Willie Laster. And to this union, 6 children were born, 8 were reared. Sarah Louise Pearl, Louis Albert, Mary Feen, my grandmama Mary Feen, Doris Elizabeth, Willie, and Clementine. She was a great mother, grandmother, and a great grandmother. She taught her children how to cook, respect others, love, show love to one another. On any given day, you could find a meal at Mama Catherine's house. She fed her family, friends, and often less fortunate who were traveling through Pensacola, struggling to get to their destination. She was known she was known to bake delicious cakes, pies, and buttermilk biscuits. And yes, my grandmama knew how to make them dope. Oh, Mayfang biscuits. Yes, indeed. She was an entrepreneur. She began her business venturing, doing what she loved best, cooking. Her restaurant, Buffalo Rock, was located on Davis Street, where the current Sunlight Baptist Church is located. Her tasty dinner sold for 50 to 75 cents. Wow, her children worked with her delivery dinners to various companies in Pensacola. She was ahead of her time with her delivery service. She was one of the most generous, caring, loving, and warm-hearted individuals that God created. She was a matriarch of our family and set the tone for what a true devoted woman of God she'd be. The Lord called her home August 8th, 1966. Oh, you great grandmama. That got a lump in my throat. I read that before that, but yeah. Oh, absolutely. These are my peoples. These are my peoples. Very close. E.V. Wilson Jr., Nathaniel, oh yeah, man. I mean, oh, so many. There's several court count. Oh, SEC, travel. So I can read these stories all day about Preston and Nathaniel, um, Charles. You know, oh man, I will be here all night with this book reading to you guys, man. Samuel Wilson, all these wonderful stories of how beautiful these men. We got man the Southeast Indians. I keep getting challenged. People want to keep on challenging. I was going to share my ancestry page, but unfortunately, I am going to do a YouTube and go live to where I can screen share because I want to show you. It's simple for me. This is not hard. This is not hard work for me at all. These are This is the beauty and power of what oral tradition does for you when you pay attention as a young man, a young lady. You know, you want to know your stories because when people understand who they are from a young age, they bar none going to be successful because they already know what they're capable of and what their people have accomplished. So I don't mind having haters. That's fine. Everybody has them. The only thing about being a hater is the fact that, when why would you hate if a person has facts? Now that's just dumb. That's not even fair to wanna, let's say, it's just not intelligent to do. If a person has facts, studies about the names, everything lines up, everything is in alignment, the chronology. When you have all those things, you have nothing to challenge. So you want attention. Well, here it is. You got some attention tonight. Cause goddamn, I am who I say I am. You understand that? It's damn. What don't you like about a person understanding and appreciating the values of themselves and what their people were able to accomplish in a tumultuous time and era in this country? Let me explain to you what it really is. It's called having a focus. It's called being relied upon when you're called upon. You guys want to be supported, but don't want to support anybody. You want to be loved, but you don't want to show love. Being selfless is not a very hard thing. You know why? Because when you're fed, when your mind is consumed with the betterment of other people, because you know you're in a good position, a good space, mentally, physically, spiritually, emotionally, when you have your elements lined up appropriately for you, the best thing to do is try to help somebody else. But only if they ask for it. Some people like to give advice. You should never give advice if no one asks you for your advice. Stop doing that. You cause yourself grief and you form a wedge in between your relationship with you and that other person that you just want to start shit with because that's what it really is. You'll say, unless that's what you want to do, because most people that's the agenda for them. That's what they want to do. That's what the hell you think I'm doing this for? That I wanted to start some shit. That's why they do it. So my advice to people like that, there ain't no conclusion for them. No, you're only getting into it with a buffoon, a person that don't know how to learn from you. So they want to ridicule you. They want to talk down on you. They want to act like y'all buddies, but they really want to do is they have this they got ways, these screwed up mental underdeveloped ways. And that just so happens to be your fault? No, that's who they got to deal with. That's them. That's not you. You know, the Siberian native came up with all kind of elaborate scams in this book. So when I tell you I am who I say I am, let's find out who y'all is, okay? You want to start some shit? Here we go. We're gonna start some shit tonight. Here we go. All right. No, so let's go to what this book gets into first and foremost. 1893 to 1896. They were what you call were getting organized. Let's see how they were getting organized. Page 1. Getting organized. What do you mean by that? Put in my throat. Oh, check this out. What can you do when you discover a continent, but there are already people living on it? European settlers arrived in North America and had content. Well, hold on. Let me walk that back for a second. Straighten the shirt out real quick. So let me explain. Let me walk this back. A little bit more light. What can you do when you discover a continent, but there are already people living on it? European settlers arrived in North America had to contend with what they soon called the Indian problem. They tried a number of approaches that generally depended on relative military power for the natives and for the non-natives. But the late 1870s, most of the original inhabitants who still maintain a connection with the organized tribes had been pushed onto reservations in areas that were considered undesirable and out of the way, and hope was that these groups could be isolated and perhaps eventually civilized. However, critics of the approach argued strongly that assimilating the Indians into general population was a better policy. Okay, that's when it was getting organized. Now, let's take a look at this because this is the Dawes Commission and the allotment of the civilized tribes, 1893 to 1914. And see the problem. First try at allotment, page 15. Okay. In May 1896, the Dawes Commission returned to Indian Territory for its third visit, established its headquarters in Veneta in the Cherokee Nation. It now had to process applications for for citizenship, in addition to negotiating allotment agreements. That these circumstances make a narrative of events for confusing because the commission attempted two tasks concurrently. The commission the commissioner resumed making these usual speeches to the tribes officials in public gatherings to promote negotiations. But now they inevitably had to respond to the question about the approach process for citizenship would work. They also began receiving letters from people all over the United States asking how they could get on the rolls so they could get Indian land. That's the first tried allotment. Oh, it gets wilder. Okay. The Prelude to Destruction, page 23, 1897. Prelude to Destruction. Let's go to page 23. And I'm just reading the first paragraph. So if you get this book right here, yo, you'll know the whole game. I'm just giving you the paragraph. This is a book review. Calm down, because I am who I say I am. But who are you? I'm showing you who you are, because I know who you are. You understand that? I shall continue. Chapter 3, Prelude to Destruction. As the year 1897 begun, the Dawes Commission and various tribal delegations were in Washington to lobby Congress. The federal courts were about to begin its appeal process that would last more than 2 years, and the population in Indian Territory were deeply divided over the best course of the future. Powerful groups eager to implement their plans for economic development. were called for allotment, while the efforts of the leaders of the civilized tribes to oppose allotment were being weakened by growing internal dissension. It appeared to be only a matter of time before the tribal governments were abolished to clear the way for a new state. That's just chapter 3. Let's get one more in. Let's get one more in there. Okay. The Curtis Act, 1898. Snakes and scribes, enrollments of the Creeks and Seminoles, Choctaw, Chickasaw, and lawyers, deciding who can be a Cherokee, allotting land, buy, rent, or steal. Okay? Town sites and leftovers, the business of bureaucracy, winding up affairs, going out of business. Appendix 1, a list of tribal roles among the records of the Dawes Commission. Appendix 2, a list of town sites, bibliography, sources, and notes. See, you really want to play with me? Not a good idea. Just not a good idea. Okay, so when you got this book and you got this book, oh, well, this is my ancestry book just from one of my ancestry parents. Okay, wow. My grandmother Willie Mae, bless her beautiful soul. Oh, by the way, y'all, let me pause. Let me pause real quick. Check out my pages. You can check me out at Danny D on Instagram, Devard on Instagram, and you can check me out at the Will Is Podcast on Instagram. You can check me out at the Will Is Podcast and Devard on Threads. You can check me out at Will Is and Danny D on TikTok. Check out all 6. I'm running redundancy on all of them. You can check them all out. It's the same person. It's the same. It's the orchestrator, the creator, me. You understand? But y'all, I be trying to keep it light on people because I actually am who I say I am. There's no fluff here. There are no lies being told. There's no untruths. You understand? I don't do this for naught. It's selfless. And I'm pretty poignant too. Check it out. You do not get to dictate just because you was fed a false conception and misconception about history and everything in it, because you want to claim a title that don't belong to you. What's wrong with getting to know you? So what if you're Siberian? Get to know how great the people were. Because that's what you are. That's okay. It should be okay for you. Just like who I am is okay for me. You know I love Africa too. I was sold it. I was just proven wrong. I was okay with being proven wrong. As a matter of fact, I was okay with being at peace with knowing the truth. It gave me a great deal of satisfaction and appreciation just to know who I am. And I mean, you got to think about it. You sound just like these folks. You see, they had a whole commission trying to lie to people and tell them who they were and were not. You don't get to decide that. You're not eloquent enough. You're not smart enough. And I know you ain't got a few of these laying around your house. This is all about the people that are in this book and the people that are from him. One person. My great granddaddy. So that means every one of my cousins. I love you all. Every one of my family members, my aunties, uncles, my elders, the juniors. I love all y'all because we, you know what, we from a good ilk. Great genes. And you get to sit up here and you want to wag, you ain't who you say you is. Okay, so if you got these two and you got these two, bing, bing. There you go. Whoa, whoa, whoa. You got those two there? Yeah. Yeah. What? For those who haven't watched my other shows, I gotta show you more information so that you understand and know. Okay? You gotta have stuff like this. You need that too. You need that. Okay? It's good to have stuff like this. It's good. It's good to know. It's very good to know. It just is. I don't know why you don't want to know. Because you get to talk shit. Oh, that's probably why. Okay, that's probably why. It's good to have these books. I'm going to do a book. This is a book share. I'm going to change the title. But I am who I say I am. You under dig? I am who I say I am. Oh, the first Americans were Africans. Huh? Or were the first Africans Americans? No, we know Africa's huge, but this is a land that was called Pangea at one time before it broke up. So when it broke up, people just was on Africa. No, they was all over. They was on every landmass. Jeez, how hard is that to understand? Get you this. For those that want to read themselves out of the Bible. This is the Black Biblical Heritage. I've shared these books before. I figure I'll share them again. You know? Let me show you what they did to. See, I know all about you Siberians. And nobody said you wasn't here. Nobody said you wasn't impactful. I just said you wasn't here first. I know the stories. You understand? And Indigenous People History of the United States. Get y'all a copy of these books, man. And then, I've been here before everybody. This is Dr. Ivy Van Sertima. They came before Columbus. Again, they came before Columbus. But some stories were told, I feel, not all the way correct. So that's when you, look at that, the worst trickster story ever told. See that? Okay. You can't claim to be a Southeast Indian if you ain't my complexion. Or copper, brown. You could be red, yellow, but if you ain't got that phenotype, if you ain't got that copper in you, yo, that's who we is. You know what I'm saying? Check it out. Check it out now. Hold on. Here we go. The Choctaw. Before the removal, we got the removal of the Choctaw Indian, and we got Southeast Indians in the American Revolution. Okay, check me out, man. Like, I'm very well learned and studied on who I am and what I am, regardless of how you feel. I am who I say I am. And I mean it. I'm him. Yeah, humbly speaking. But for real, man, being knowledgeable of yourself, gaining knowledge of self is the most important thing that life has to offer you so that you can be better and be the whole being that you can be. Because I'm still a work in progress. I ain't got it all figured out. But that's why we do this together. Why do you think I say humbly speaking? You did, because I'm a humble guy. I'm a good guy. I will never put myself out here to deceive, to be deceptive. What I'm trying to do is alleviate the deception. That's what should be appropriate and acceptable. But some of you just You like being a hater. Like that's what you get off on. It's like your thing. Some people like gutter sex. Some people like, some people don't like to bathe. Some people love to base their life on mythical creatures and characters. Some people like to be other sexes. Some people like to be other races. Some people like to cosplay, pretend, and be anything but themselves. And then when they see the Will Is podcast with somebody that's being their complete self and educating people about their complete self, you got a problem with that too? Oh, Lord, what the fuck you don't have? What do you want? We already proved that blood quantum shit was some fabricated bullshit. It was never true. You can't even explain it correctly. Tell me what it is. Come on. Oh, you have to do something like the Japanese say or some shit like that? Or do you got to have some black in you? Is that what it is? Oh, but he the father of ancient America. Oh, huh? Yeah. What? Ruler of two kingdoms? My granddaddy Ramesses the third? Y'all just check out my. I'm busting on all of my social media. I'm done with Facebook. Y'all should know that by now. I'm scared. It's over with. If y'all see me on Facebook, that shit ain't me. If they sending you a message, that shit is not me. It ain't. Okay? Okay. Wait a minute, y'all. I'm gonna bust y'all upside the head one more time though. Because you need to see this too. You need to see all of this shit. Yeah. I'm bringing grandpa back out. Yeah. And you go on my Instagram, go on my YouTube. I mean, go you on my YouTube and check out my check out some more check it out, man. Y'all check out the real side of the game. The real side of the game. Check it out. Stop lying, acting like you somebody that you not. Stop that. You understand? Do you understand? I show y'all this for just for your own good. You asked me to bring it out you. Bring it out, man. What the who these folks? What are you? That's not an Asian. That's not an Asian at all. No. And if you want to talk about Negroid phenotype, that's what we're talking about here. So calm your nerves. I'm only trying to educate you. If you want to know how much uh, history lies, well, let me show you. A few more other books that I've shown and I'm gonna keep showing these books. That's what I'm gonna do, so y'all can purchase them for yourself and read them, and then call me. Oh, he really do be telling the truth about every fucking thing. Yeah, everything. Wow. Told you I'm gonna show y'all this again and again and again and again. I want you to get it in your head. I want you to understand. America got a lot of secrets, people. A lot. Dirty secrets. See, this is Dr. Cloud Anderson. Some good work by here. Let me tell you. Let me introduce this one again. This is investigate the science of self. Black people invented everything. A deep history of indigenous creativity, architecture, honey, temples, government, woodwork, uh, ceremony, theater, ritual, drums, archaeology, education, painting, substance, brain surgery, farming, knowledge, heart transplant, geology, class, war, archery, plaza, style. We all have all of this in algebra, everything. Everything. Stop being so hateful and start being grateful around this world. Dr. Claude Anderson. More dirty little secrets about black history, its heroes, and other troublemakers. This is volume 2. But I also got Dirty Little Secrets volume 1. So, about black history and heroes and other troublemakers. Claude Anderson. He's a doctor. Dr. Claude Anderson. So, what we got, man? We're going. This book is so, it's not really it don't be on all the points that I want to, but you know, he's something else, man. He's great. He's great at what he do. Yeah. Who built the Great Pyramids? Let's see what he say about this. See if I agree. Egypt's pyramids hid many a secret, dirty and otherwise. Within the pyramids are traces of a society of a long since past to antiquity, along with mathematical and radical riddles that have never been solved. One secret of Khufu's Great Pyramid has been a radical identity of the builder. Khufu, the king of Egypt, who was called Chop by the Greeks, Cheops by the Greeks, was the architect and builder of the Great Pyramid. He lived during the late 2600 BC. Obscured by the time of historical omission, few viewers of the Great Pyramid ever knew that its builder was a black man. Scholars believe that he must have been a powerful ruler that had made its subjects build such a large pyramid in his honor. According to the Afro American Almanac, the Great Pyramid contains 2,500,000 blocks of time tested granite. With each block weighed 2.5 tons, the Great Pyramid covers more than a dozen acres of land. Scientists, engineers, and scholars still struggle to determine how the feat was achieved without the benefits of advanced technology and machinery. They most often assume that the architecture was achieved by a non black, but there is a possibility of the modern DNA genetics testing could confirm that the race of Cheops was the great king and pyramid builder. Well, we already know he was black, so yes, I agree with that statement. But that goes to show the dirty little secrets. Just one of the things that he talks about in Dirty Little Secrets Part 1 and Dirty Little Secrets Part 2. We talk about whatever happened to Sally Hemings. Sally Hemings, an enslaved black woman, became Thomas Jefferson's concubine at 15 years old. Sally Hemings remained Jefferson's slave and mistress until she was freed by Jefferson's wife after his death. Hemings died in 1835 at the age of 62. Through her intimate relations with Thomas Jefferson, she gave birth to two sons, Madison and Eaton. Both of her sons, who were freed under Jefferson, were moved to Ohio. 3 decades later, one of Sally Hemings' grandsons, Thomas Edson Hemings, fought with the Northern Union Army in the Civil War. He was captured by the Southern Confederates and died in the infamous Andersonville, South Carolina prison. Many of Sally Hemings' descendants were actively engaged in trying to provide for the blood of Thomas Jefferson flows through their veins, since white blood symbolizes value possibility that black descendants will receive some benefits. Wow. But that's more dirty little secrets that he talks about, and we already showed you 7 Little White Lies. I gave you a preview of this book as well, and it's pretty. This book is very good, and it has a great deal of debunking a great deal of mystery, and I really do enjoy this piece of work right here. This is also by Jabari Osaji. Osazi. Okay. So we got We're about to get off, but I just got one more about Dr. Claude Anderson. 100 questions you never thought to ask about Dr. Claude Anderson. You want to check this one out too as well. And I also want to, I'm going to show you Powernomics. It's on the book over here. It's on the shelf over here. There's some Powernomics is always on the shelves right there. Dr. Claude Anderson Powernomics. We're going to talk about that as well, which we always talk about. And really, we have to, just continuously to be who we say we are. Stop the scamming, stop the ridicule, stop the pretending, stop the cosplaying, stop. We all do share some characteristics alike, but at the end of the day, you don't have to fully want to be somebody else. And ain't nobody, just because somebody say they are who they are, let me tell you something about you pretendians and you Siberians. Watch your mouth. You don't have any proof. We do. By blood. I'm talking about walking up, person to person. You can't do that like that. You know why? Because you got to be, you can't be a Caucasian now. Caucasians don't come from no way, shape in America. Caucasians don't come from here. Are there pale Indian tribes that came from America? Let me tell you who they are, but they're not Europeans. Hold on. America's old. It's the old world. Yeah, there's some ferocious shit going on here, man. But let me show y'all something, man. Y'all ain't never seen before. While y'all be talking that bud. Show you something real quick. Nope, not there. We're gonna go to the 88, page 88. Arctic and sub-Arctic. Check it out now. This is America though. Check it out now. There you go. Now you know. See? There you have it. Eskimos. See? Yeah. Mind you, most people, again, they do stay where they be at. They stay where they be at. They're not coming from there, all the way from Alaska, populating where closer to the equator, where you don't even have the complexion for the protection of the sun. Yeah, stop. Just stop it. You can just stop it. And you still have Eskimos right now today that are super dark skinned. So, but check it out. I told y'all I am who I say I am. I don't care if you believe me. I know. Who's more important? I know or you know it? Of course it's me. That's the best way I could give you the best version of me too. I'm not outside of what I ask or what I describe or what this experience really is. We walk it together, we talk it together, we ride out together. You know what I'm saying? This is what we're trying to get out with. So you wanna fuck with the truth? Fuck with the Wheelers podcast. But check it out, man. I want y'all to say it with me. I am who I say I am. Check it out. But no, real dope though. This is the Will Is podcast. So say it with me again. The will is yours. Hey man, y'all fuck with me. You know what I'm saying? I am who I say I am, man. You just know who you is too. You did?